Good morning, world. It is 4 o'clock in the morning. It is 4 o'clock in the morning. It's going to be another very interesting video. Sorry, guys, my step parents took away the internet cord. So you're going to have to wait a couple hours from now. All you guys in Europe are going to have to wait. And all you guys on my side of the world who are sleeping. Obviously, right now, it's like 4 o'clock, 5:30 for all you guys in my side of the world. All you guys in North America, you guys are going to have to wait until the morning to watch this video, obviously. You're looking at a very interesting video here. I'm going to continue talking about my Zanus project as usual, because I'm excited for Zanus based off my fantasy novel, and I'm going to talk about Peter Jackson or Mel Gibson. Peter Jackson and Mel Gibson, obviously. Who can you choose? I don't know. Something tells me I'm going to probably choose Peter, but something I might perhaps choose Mel. You never know. Obviously, they're both really good for my movie. Peter Jackson, I'm reading the book the book obviously. Anything you can imagine, and you get the story of Peter Jackson's journey of Middle Earth, obviously how he created Lord of the Rings, how he got the rights, how he casted all these actors, how he built the billion-dollar empire. You know what I'm saying? The critics, the critics' reception, obviously, how the critics received the footage played at the Cannes Film Festival and all that stuff, yeah, and how the movie Fellowship of the Ring became a hit, and how Peter Jackson became successful, obviously. In other words, Lord of the Rings was so successful that Universal called him up, hey, does Peter Jackson want to do King Kong? And that's how Peter Jackson ended up directing King Kong, obviously, the 2005 movie that came out, yeah. Because Peter Jackson, when he was younger, he always wanted to direct King Kong. He loved the originals, obviously. He wanted to direct King Kong while he was finding investment partners for Zanus, for Lord of the Rings, obviously, and then Universal turned it down, and that's how Peter ended up focusing on Lord of the Rings. He did Lord of the Rings, and it was such a hit. It was a masterpiece. I guarantee you, Universal was impressed by Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. They called Peter's agents up, hey, does Peter want to do King Kong? And that's how Peter ended up doing King Kong after Lord of the Rings. After Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson did King Kong, and you got the movie King Kong 2005, obviously, which is a pretty good movie. Wasn't great, but it was pretty good. I give it a nice 6.5 out of 10. It was a pretty good movie. It was a sleeper hit. It did $500 million in the box office. It did all right. But it wasn't a huge hit, but it was a pretty good movie, King Kong. I remember I saw it on theaters when I was in grade 8. I saw it in theaters when I was like 8 years old. I remember those leeches that ate Andy Serkis, obviously. They freaked me the shit out in theaters. I saw King Kong on theaters. And I owned the DVD too. I bought the DVD too. I owned the DVD of King Kong, obviously. And then my step-parents broke it, obviously, right? I owned the DVD of King Kong. Yeah, I used to watch it like all the time. It was a sick movie, man. It was a pretty good movie. It was a good movie. It wasn't great. I like Skull Island better than Peter Jackson's King Kong. But King Kong was a good movie. Yeah. Hence why he's really good for Zanus, obviously, because he did that masterpiece, Lord of the Rings. And Lord of the Rings is a masterpiece. It's so good that when I'm king, I'm gonna buy the 4K Blu-ray extended edition of Lord of the Rings, as well as The Hobbit too. I don't know if I'll buy The Hobbit, because The Hobbit it's not as good as Lord of the Rings. I'm definitely gonna buy Lord of the Rings and keep it as a collection. Obviously, the 4K Blu-ray extended edition, obviously, but like the 4K Blu-ray extended edition doesn't have all the special features like the DVD did. The DVD has all the bonus features, man. I already saw all the bonus features on for Lord of the Rings. I saw it on YouTube, and I saw it back when I owned the DVD collection, like in 2010, whatever it is, 2011. I owned the whole DVD collection of Return of the King, Fellowship of the Ring, Two Towers. Yeah, I had the whole collection. My step-parents broke it, obviously. Yeah. My Zanus movie will be direct to 4K Blu-ray, as Peter won't have to worry about the movie being too long because I'm releasing it on 4K Blu-ray. Like Peter, the movie can be 13 and a half hours if you want. Yeah, I don't have to worry about the time constraints at the theaters. The movie may be too long because you're releasing on 4K Blu-ray. We can make it long. Yeah, we can make Zanus will probably be a good like 13 and a half hour movie. It'll be longer than Lord of the Rings because Peter Jackson, even though Lord of the Rings is long, he only followed like 20% of the book. And you got like a 9-hour movie theatrical and like a 12-hour movie extended, obviously. You see what I'm saying? Or 11 and a half, 12-hour movie extended. My movie will be longer than Lord of the Rings. Probably 13 and a half hours for theatrical. And I'm probably going to release it like, I don't know, 14 and a half hour extended edition in the future. See what I'm saying? But yeah, Lord of the Rings was a fucking masterpiece. But even though Lord of the Rings is a masterpiece, guys, it will not be as good as my Zayn's story, man. My Zayn's is a better story than Lord of the Rings. Because Lord of the Rings is just Frodo destroying the One Ring, and Aragorn and all them fight the armies of Saruman and the armies of Mordor of Sauron. And Aragorn takes the path, he gives up the path of the Ranger, becomes king. And he's in love with Arwen. That's pretty much the story. It's a good story, but it's not as good as what the ring. The ring is like the main. Sauron and the ring. The ring is more of the main antagonist than Sauron, obviously. You see what I'm saying? Because Sauron is pretty much dead. His spirit still lives on because the ring is alive. And to destroy Sauron, you have to destroy the ring. It's a good story, but it's not as good as Zayn's, man. Zayn's, you have Tactics fighting the devil himself, an epic battle. Like, I remember when Neo fought Smith. Think of an epic battle like that, like, you know, versus me versus Aratat and Fulful, his son, the devil, obviously. Yeah, looking at an amazing story, man. So there's war in the end, obviously, but then later on, towards the end of the war, Takis ends up fighting Aratat in like an epic 1-on-1 battle while the other guys are fighting the wolves. And you find an epic battle. Think of something epic like Neo versus Smith, man. Me fighting Aratat and Fulful, the devils. Yeah, Takis takes on both Fulful and Aratat in the war, obviously. But the main villain is Aratat. The main villain is Aratat. See what I'm saying? The main villain is Aratat. But Fulful is also a supporting villain. So Fulful is a supporting villain. Aratat's the main villain, obviously. Fulful's his son, the Prince of the South. See what I'm saying? Trust me, Peter, when you watch it, you think I'm crazy. Once Peter reads my book, it's finally gonna dawn on him. Holy shit, I see Ivan's point. If you put 9 minutes towards this kind of story, and you have Ivan as Prince Takis fighting the devil himself in an epic, he pours $400 towards the special effects, towards the world building, the horror, and the demon animal characters, and the fucking battle. The battle sequences, you're looking at something better than his Lord of the Rings. Yes, by a slim margin. It'll be close, by a slim margin. I'm not going to say that I'm not going to say that Zayn's will beat out like Lord of the Rings by a lot. No, it'll be close, man. As Peter Jackson directed a masterpiece. He directed a masterpiece, you know what I'm saying? I watched Lord of the Rings last week. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? Like a week and a half ago, I watched Lord of the Rings, and it was a fucking masterpiece. I saw Fellowship of the Ring, I saw Two Towers, I'm like, yeah, man, like, no trilogy will ever top this kind of movie, man. This is a fucking man. There's some people who think other movies are better, but they're wrong. Lord of the Rings is the best movie trilogy ever made. When you watch it, you see it blows all these trilogies out of the water, man. It's a fucking masterpiece. The language of the elves, the story, it's a fucking amazing story, man. It's a masterpiece. Yeah, man. And Peter will work hard for me because I paid him his rich, I don't know, $300 million in royalties and his 106 million salary, and with bonuses, he'll work hard. He made his like $400 million for my movie. He'll work hard. He's walking away with a nice $200+ million check in his bank after taxes and the agent. Peter Jackson made his nice like $200+ million. He got Peter will make it go down to $200 million. He'll have a good like $200 million in his bank after taxes and his agent and the rates. 210 million in his bank around there. Peter Jackson will be making 180 to like 210 around there after taxes in his bank. Peter was making in his bank around there. $200 million in his bank. He'll work. He got a nice paycheck. He'll work his ass off. He'll work harder for me than what he even did for Warner Bros. Because Warner Bros owns New Line Cinema. New Line Cinema is just another division of Warner Bros. Warner Bros pretty much owns New Line Cinema, pretty much, right? Am I right, Peter? Yeah, Ivan. Yeah, Warner Bros owns New Line Cinema. Obviously, New Line Cinema is pretty much like bankrupt right now. It's not that big of a company anymore, but like Lord of the Rings put New Line Cinema on the map, obviously. But I gave Peter an unlimited budget, whereas Warner Bros. Gave Peter only $90 million per movie. Warner Bros. Gave Peter Jackson only $90 million per movie. Peter Jackson had a limited budget, obviously. I saw the behind the scenes. Peter Jackson's like, yeah, Peter Jackson wanted to have CGI ring race, but he couldn't afford it. Yeah, he wanted the ring race to look more different, obviously. Because yeah, we couldn't afford it. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, because Warner Bros. Only gave him a $9 million budget. He couldn't afford to pay all the actors a good salary. He had to pay most of the actors their shitty salary because Warner Bros. Gave him like, I don't know, $70 million budget to pay the actors. Around there, right? $15-16 million budget to pay the actors. That's why all the actors have to make their shit. They all got their shitty money. They're $250K, they're $150K. Vigo may have got maybe $1 million, $1.5 million, $900K, and then like Ian McKellen took home all the pie, man. He took $13 million of the pie. He took the majority chunk of the share, obviously. Ian took a good, I don't know, probably 70% of the pie, man. The $13 million went to him, obviously. He was worth it because he was an A-list actor at the time. Yeah. Hence why Ian won an Oscar, obviously. I read online Ian won an Oscar for Lord of the Rings. Yeah, he had the best performance out of all the actors. Ian won an Oscar. He was nominated, I think, or he won. I forget what I read. I believe Ian McKellen won an Oscar for one of the Lord of the Rings movies. Yeah, because Ian McKellen destroyed the role of Gandalf. Out of all the actors, he stole the show, man. When you watch Lord of the Rings, yeah, Ian McKellen stole the show. Yes, Ian McKellen stole the show in Lord of the Rings. He fucking destroyed the show, man. He stole the show. Yeah. So think about it. If you want to get acting on the same level as Ian McKellen for Lord of the Rings, pay all your stars or millions. You're going to get acting as good as Ian McKellen for Lord of the Rings, if not better, obviously. Because I'm paying all the actors or millions. You want the actor for Amber, if he shows him for Cornelius, to destroy the role, pay him for... Carl Urban is his name. I found his name. I know his name now. Carl Urban. If you want Carl Urban to destroy the role, you pay him his rich $4.5 million. He's from New Zealand, so $4.5 million in Canadian money is like $6 million in New Zealand money for Carl Urban. So Carl Urban got a nice check. And if he makes $5 million in the Canadian money, he's gonna make like $8 million in New Zealand money. Obviously, yeah. So Carl Urban, $6 million is what? $3.6 million after taxes, and his agent takes 10%. That's $360,000. So Carl Urban's walking away with like a $3.3 million check in his bank for his salary, and then with his royalty checks, he's gonna make about $8 million because New Zealand money's not worth as much as Canadian money. 4.8 after taxes, 10%. Yeah, Carl Urban's gonna make a good like $7.5 million after taxes in his bank for my Zane's movie around there. Yeah, with the royalties. Yeah, because he lives in New Zealand like Peter, since he'll make more money. Because New Zealand money is not as strong as Canadian and American money. And Carl Urban signed a fat like deal, man. He's gonna make his nice like what? Carl Urban signed a what? 6 plus like 8. He's gonna make like $8 million royalties because of New Zealand money. Yeah, he signed a what? Like a $14 million deal, Carl Urban. $13 million deal around there in New Zealand money, right? Yeah. He's gonna work his ass off, obviously, because he made way more money than what he made for Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings, he only made probably 150. Carl Urban probably made maybe $300K for the two movies. As for the role of Amber around there. They probably paid him $150K per movie, and he destroyed the role of fucking Amber. You can only imagine how much he's gonna destroy the role for my movie because I paid him his rich millions. He's gonna walk away with like a $7 million check in his bank, man. 6.87 million check in his bank after taxes. I'm not kidding around. He lives in New Zealand. 4.5 is like $6 million New Zealand money, and then he makes $5 million in Canadian money. New Zealand money, that's like $7-8 million. It was a 1%. Yeah, he's gonna walk away with like a $7 million check in his bank. 6.8, 6.7, 7. Yeah, he striked it rich. He striked it richer because he's already rich. He striked it richer. He'll work hard. He'll destroy the role of Cornelius, obviously. He'll destroy the role. Yeah, man. High chance I am going to choose Carl Urban as Cornelius for my Zane's movie. Over. Because the Anonzo guy, he's good, but I'll have him to compete for the role. You never know. I might choose the Anonzo guy. But I think Carl Urban matches more of that southern feel. Because he did Lord of the Rings. He has that beautiful accent, obviously. Carl Urban won't really need to do any dialect training because he has a beautiful New Zealand accent. Hey, I want you to have a similar accent like what you did for Amber in Lord of the Rings. He's perfect for Cornelius. Whereas the Anonzo guy is British, obviously, but that's what I'm saying. But all the actors who can't do really good accents like myself, I can't really do a good accent. I'm gonna have to hire a dialect coach to train me and VJ can do a pretty good accent. Remember her reel that she made when she was filming the Rock Horror Picture Show? She did this reel. You were breaking up with me? You're breaking up with me? Remember that? Yeah, VJ can do a pretty good accent. Are you good witch or a bad witch? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, VJ can do a pretty good accent. Whereas me, I can't really do a good accent like that. And so I have to hire a dialect coach to train me. I'm gonna hire a dialect coach to train. I'll hire the dialect coaches who train the Lord of the Rings actors. Hire that same person. Hire two of them to train all your actors in dialect speech, obviously. So the minor characters who don't fight in the movie, who are going to be flown to Switzerland, to the tables, I'll have one dialect coach train them, and I'll have one dialect coach train the actors who are in Vancouver. Once a week. We'll do once a week, you do dialect training for the actors. That way everyone sounds good. You can't have the actors speak modern English. No, the movie won't be good. You have to have them speak the way the Lord of the Rings actors spoke. You have them speak like that. In Old English style speech. Not Old English. No, Old English is weird. Old English style speech, like how people spoke in the medieval times. Old English style. You know how the way the Lord of the Rings actors spoke? Yes. You have to train them in dialect speech, obviously. That way you get a good movie, obviously. I know what I'm doing. Obviously. So Carl Urban is most likely chosen for for Cornelius. I think he's perfect for Cornelius. Peter, what do you think of Carl Urban, your fellow castmate in what in Lord of the Rings? You're choosing all my Lord of the Rings actors. I'm like, yeah, Peter, I think he's good. All right, I think he's perfect for Cornelius. I'm saying I'll have him compete with the Anonzo guy for the role. And I'll pay Carl Urban 4.5 million salary, which is like 6 million New Zealand money. That's a good paycheck for him. He's walking with like a 3.3 million check in his bank. After taxes, he'll work hard, obviously. You can give him 0.01% of the profits, which is like, I don't know, 5 million in Canadian money, but he lives in New Zealand, he'll make his like 7 million. 7 million bucks he's gonna make like his like 6 million, 7.2, 7.3 million after taxes. So Carl Urban will be $7 million richer after my Zane's movie. With the royalties and the salary, he'll work hard, obviously. He'll destroy the role. If you thought his acting, guys, for Amber was good, think of acting twice that, because I paid him his millions. But work harder for me, obviously. Whereas for Lord of the Rings, he did blood, sweat, and tears for peanuts. Whereas for my movie, he's doing blood, sweat, and tears for millions in his bank. He'll work hard. You can do a lot of good things with $7 million in your bank. You can do a lot of good things with that kind of money. You can buy he can buy a house, buy a condo, a nice $2 million house he can buy. He can get his nice cars. He already owns nice cars, obviously. He's already rich, but he's going to be richer. He can get his nice cars, go on a vacation with his wife or his family. I don't know if he has kids, with his wife or his family. He can do good things with that money, yeah. Give me a sec, guys. I brewed some coffee. I'm going to get some more coffee. Sorry for the wait. If you guys hate waiting, just skip the video, man. I hate when you like, yeah, if you guys hate waiting, just skip the video a good minute and a half, 2 minutes, and I should be arriving back in my room. If you hate waiting, obviously. Yeah, man. If you think Carl Urban destroyed the role, I saw Lord of the Rings, and Carl Urban destroyed the role of fucking Amber in Lord of the Rings for fucking peanuts, and I'm paying him. He got fed his shittier food. I don't know, his chili spaghetti and meat and potatoes and all stuff. You know what I'm saying? He was a dirty slave, whereas from my movie, he got his freedom, and I paid him his money. He's going to walk away, I don't know, a $7 million check in his bank, $6 million check in his bank, around there. A $6+ million check in his bank, at least he'll walk away with, because he hasn't used the New Zealand rates, obviously. He'll work hard, he'll destroy the role, because he got millions in his bank, man. You can do a lot of good things with like 6.5 plus $7 million in your bank, $7 million. You can do a lot of good things with that money, man. Buy your nice 1.5, $2 million house. You know what I'm saying? You can get your nice cars. You can feed that money is enough to last you for 10+ years. You work hard, yeah, man. Destroy the role, man. Yeah. Now I think Carl Urban is perfect for Cornelius. I can't think of anyone better for the role than him. Him or the Anonzo guy. I think the Anonzo guy is perfect too. He's really good too. I can picture him as Cornelius. He's a big man. But I see Cornelius more as a white man. Something tells me Peter Jackson, I even choose Carl Urban. Carl Urban's better for Cornelius than the Anonzo guy. Choose him, you know what I'm saying? And I choose Carl Urban. I'm most likely, 90% chance I'm going to choose Carl Urban as I don't know, 70% chance, 60% chance I'll choose Carl Urban. 50% chance. I might choose Anonzo guy, but high chance I'm going to choose Carl Urban over Anonzo, man. I'm going to have both of them read for the part for Cornelius. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to fly in all the actors who I'm considering for Xanias live to my office, and I'm going to have the doc team film them with the professional camera, and me, Peter Jackson, and all them are going to look at all the reels. We're going to see who's best for the part, and I'm going to have all these actors who I'm thinking of, the Lord of the Rings actors who I'm thinking of, Zoe King, have them send in their reels, and we'll see who's better for the part. Have Carl Urban send his reel for Cornelius, have the Anonzo guy send his. So I'll give Carl Urban's agent a call. Okay, my secretaries will tell him, okay, have Carl Urban send in a reel to Sky Source, obviously. Have the Anonzo guy send a reel. I'll decide who's best for the role. Some singer. Yeah, he's gonna destroy the role, man. Yeah, man. Like you're looking at unheard of acting like you've never heard of before for the Xanias actors, because they all got paid their rich millions, man. They're gonna work hard for me, man. They're not gonna slack off. Or if I paid Carl Urban like $500K, he'd still work his ass off, but he won't work as hard because he's getting shittier money. You know what I'm saying? Even if I paid him $500K, he would work hard for me, but he won't work as hard because he's not making his millions. With that kind of money, you can get a nice car for yourself, and maybe the money is enough to last you for maybe 3 years. Whereas if you get paid your millions, that money can last you for 8, 10+ years. You know what I'm saying? It's enough to last you for years, man. 8, 9, 10 years of your life. Because you got paid, you got millions in your bank. Yeah, man. But work hard. Carl Urban will work hard, obviously. Hey, Peter, what are you thinking of Viggo Mortensen for Maramis? I can have him compete with Don Cheadle. Yeah, I can picture Viggo Mortensen as Maramis. You know what I'm saying? He has a youthful look. Yeah, because Maramis is an older dude. He's like in his 60s. Yeah, I can picture Viggo Mortensen as Maramis. He has his white hair. He has like this beard. He has that youthful look of that veteran look, obviously. That experienced look as a captain of the Archers. Yeah, you can have Viggo compete with Don Cheadle. I'll have Don Cheadle come in and read. Hey Don, you're the first man on my list, but I'm gonna have Viggo read. That way, I'll give Viggo's agent a call, have him read for the part, and we'll see who's better, obviously. But somebody tells me Peter Jackson will tell me I even choose Viggo, man. Viggo's my is my Lord of the Rings star. But John Favreau, I'm thinking Don Cheadle. You know what I'm saying, yeah. Who do you pitch as more? I picture Don Cheadle more as Maramis. High chance I will choose him over Viggo, but I might choose Viggo. You never know. And I'll match Viggo's salary with Don Cheadle's salary. That way he works hard for you and he destroys the role. Because Maramis is a supporting character. He's in the prologue. He's in all 3 volumes. He's a supporting character. So Viggo, if he's chosen, he'll be a major character in my movie, obviously. A major supporting character, right? Maramis, when you read my book, he's a supporting character. He's in a lot of scenes, obviously, but I'm saying. But the main character of the story is Tactius. Whereas all the other characters are all major supporting Major supporting characters are supporting characters. Yeah. I'll pay Vigo $10 million for the role. It's a good paycheck for him. He's worth a good $10 million because he has value. He did Lord of the Rings. He was a star. He was a star actor in Lord of the Rings, and he did like the Road. He did Hidalgo. Hidalgo flopped, obviously, but he did Hidalgo. He did History of Violence. He had an okay career after Lord of the Rings. Pay Vigo a good value of $10 million. That's a good paycheck for him. He'll accept my deal. $10 million for his salary, and he gets his $60,000 worth of commercial money, obviously. And I'll pay him. He gets his $2,000 gift card, his $3,500 gas card, and he gets his $250,000 royalty check for the merch. It's a good deal for him. And I'll give him 0.02% of the profits, which is a good, I don't know, 7 to 11 million in royalties. Around if a 1.1 billion people buy a movie, he'll make like 8-9 million in royalties. Vigo. If more than like 1.1 million buy, he'll make around his 9.3 million. Perhaps even 10, 11 million in royalties. My guess is he'll make about 8 million in royalties around there, Vigo. So he signed like his $18 million deal. He's gonna walk away with like an $8 million check in his bank after taxes. It's a fucking fat check, yeah, man. He'll destroy the role. $8 million is how much bigger A-listers make in Hollywood for their salaries, man. Vigo made $8 million after taxes around there. That's a nice paycheck for Vigo. That's enough to last you for 15 years plus, man, easily. You see what I'm saying? If Vigo gets greedy, if his agent gets greedy and he wants like 0.3, I'm like, Vigo, you're not as big as Don Cheadle. I'm not going to pay you 0.03. You're worth $30 million. I'm not paying you any more than 0.02. You know what I'm saying? If he tries to get 0.1, I'm like, Vigo, you're not a bigger A, so you're a small A, so I'm not paying you any more than 0.02. That's good enough. You're going to make your $8, $9, $10, $11 million in royalties. That's good enough. Excluding your $10 million salary, and you got your $250K royalty check for the merch. You got your $2,000 gift card. You got your $300 gas card. And I'm also giving you perks. The third year, all the actors will be staying in suites. At, I don't know, $1,000, $1,500 night suite in a hotel, obviously. Because starting prices for a suite is like $700 plus bucks. I thought a starting price for a suite was like $4,000. No, a $4,000 a night is a suite. Is a high end suite. $1,000 a night in a luxury hotel is a suite for the actors. I can easily afford to have the actors stay in a $1,000 a night hotel, $1,000 a night suites, $2,000. I'm telling the secretaries, look, man, rent the best suites possible in all these hotels, but make sure it's not over. If it's anything over $4,000, don't rent it. Even if it's $4,000 a night, I can easily afford it. It'll cost me a good, I don't know, $3 million pocket change. I have a big like $985 budget, so I can easily afford it. That way, you give the actors a good experience and they work harder for you, obviously. You have limo services for all your stars to take them to the buffet restaurant for breakfast, lunch, and dinner in Vancouver. So the limo driver will pick up all my stars for the breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The third year when they're training. As well as the weekends, too. And I'll give the actors weekends off. Weekends off during the third year. So every weekend you guys get your weekends off. You can chill at the bar, in the hotel. You know what I'm saying? You have to pay with your money. I'm not paying for you. I paid you your fucking $40,000, your $20,000 in royalties for the commercial. You can easily use that money to pay for your fucking drink. And those guys are already rich. They have money. You have money. All the actors who are in Hollywood all have money to last for at least a year or two. Anything over 2 years, you have to pay them, obviously. Hence why after Zanus, for all my movies after Zanus, the actors won't get paid for like 1 year. But I'm giving them the commercial money, nice pocket commercial money for themselves. So all these actors have money in their bank. They all have at least like 500 plus thousand in their bank. These actors, they have money. They're rich people, man. The A-list actors all have millions in their bank, a couple million to tens of millions. The A-list actors have. I'm gonna ask all the actors, are you good? Are you good for 2 years? Yeah, I'm good. I'll ask Vigo, are you good? Yeah, I'm good. I have money in my bank. I'm good for 2 years. They can either have millions in their bank. Are you good, Carl Urban? Yeah, I'm good. I have enough money to pay my bills for 2 years. If you need the money, tell me. If you need the money, tell me. I'll pay you a bonus from your salary. If we need the money. So if Carl Urban needs money, which I highly doubt it, he's worth a couple million dollars. He has money in his bank. I'll pay him a $500K bonus. That way he has money for himself for the 2 years. You pay him his $4 million start production if he needs money. If Vaughn George needs money, I can pay him $500K bonus. But Vaughn George will be fine because he lives in Vancouver. He doesn't. Yeah, Ivan, I'm fine. I live right next door in Vancouver. You know what I'm saying? I'm fine. I live in an apartment. I can easily pay my bills for 2 years. Yeah, don't worry, Vondro. I'll pay you $60,000. I'll pay you 40 grand to help you out a little bit with buying your food and your chicken and all stuff. And the third year, I'll pay you 20. All right, that's a good deal. I'm good, Ivan. I'm fine. Yeah, all the actors will be fine. Obviously. So that's my deal for Viggo Mortensen. He's gonna play the role. If he's chosen, he'll be playing the role of Meramis, the captain of the archers. He's gonna be a badass archer, Viggo Mortensen. Yeah, think something more badass than even Legolas, man. Because I'm pouring more money into the action sequences. Yeah, he's gonna be a badass archer, Viggo, if he's chosen, or Don Cheadle, whoever I choose. You see what I'm saying? Who is good for Baramis? I don't know who I want to hire. Baramis is an older dude too. Baramis is a servant of Queen Sarah, and he's in his. Baramis is in his. Baramis is in his what? Baramis is in his like 50s too. He's an older dude. Baramis is in his like 50s, 60s. I don't know who I'm gonna choose for Baramis, and I don't know who I'm gonna choose for Lithius. The one woman actor I'm thinking for Lithius is that woman actor who was in the. She had a minor role in the movie with Liam Neeson. What's that movie called again? The Commuter. Remember that? Remember that? That all you guys who saw the movie. Remember that mulatto girl? I might have her perhaps. She's good for Lithius because Lithius is half black, half white. She can play my younger sister, obviously, in the movie. And have that woman, that child actor. She'll be like in her, I don't know, 25 by the time I do. She was like, I don't know, 16 back then. She'd probably be like 30 by the time I do